I'm back, and I haven't really had an answer. But now, yeah, I'm thinking I'm back.
I gotcha, didn't I? Let's go! Time for the spooky season. I got you guys with that one, huh? I did that last year. I just remembered I had that, the spooky season one. Intro, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna use this today for the beginning part of the intro. But yeah, we're here, guys, or I'm here. You're here. Everyone's watching, listening to the Peti Kish on live. Happy Friday, everyone. I'm sorry I'm a bit late, guys. I had stuff to take care of, personal stuff generally, as well as I had internet problems last night. So I try to upload the stream like I always do as like a countdown thing for the stream. And I lost internet last night. So I didn't have internet, and I was like, ooh, maybe I have to postpone Friday's stream. And I woke up this morning, and I was like, oh, shit, I have internet now. So I don't know what. There was a hiccup on, I guess, my internet provider's side. And now I'm here. So we're going to go live. Today is going to be interesting because there is a lot to talk about topic-wise. A lot of gaming aspects right now. There's a huge blowout right now with Xbox, Microsoft, with gamers upset with the Xbox Game Pass going up to $30 now every month. That is big news. That blew up like crazy. As well as some little other topics here and there, like Silent Hill 1 Remake. It's in development by Blooper Team, who made Silent Hill 2 Remake. As well as updates on Resident Evil 9 Requiem. Since it's more of like the spooky month, October area. So I was like, oh, you know what? We're going to start the month out with some spookier games, talking about some of those, see what's up with that, with Resident Evil, Silent Hill, and all those. But there's also other topics like we always do, the fast topics and all that. So there is ton of information here, especially with Xbox, because that one is blowing up and gamers are not happy what is going on with Xbox in general, I would say. All right. Before we get into anything, guys, you already know what to do. Like the stream, and if you're new here, and if you're lurking, why not subscribe as well here? I do a lot of entertainment, lot of gaming content on here. I talk about like the gaming industry, as well as, movies, TV shows, pulp culture, all that on here, guys. A lot of interesting stuff like that. Mostly I've been just talking about gaming in general. I feel like there is a time I'll talk about like movies and TV. Depends on what I'm passionate about. But right now I'm like really into like gaming, because as well as movies, they're connected with the gaming industry, with the movie industry. They're all like failing downhill. There are superb games coming out, but you're gonna go through so much trash and shit to find actually that one game or that one movie or TV show that is actually worth your time. Because a lot of people, time is important, and people don't want to waste their time if something is slob, is trash, it's not well made, it's not made by passionate people. It's like, why people have enough in their life in general of shit going on. does entertainment need to be shit too? So that's pretty much what we're doing here. Is we're going to be talking about all this and just speculating, checking out all these, giving my opinion about things, but also speculating on things and what's going on in the world, pretty much. But yeah, I appreciate you guys for coming by. Thank you so much. If you're just listening or watching, whatever, and all the MVPs who rewatch these videos, you guys are awesome. I love you guys always coming back, rewatching them. I know everyone has their time, everyone's busy, but you guys are awesome. Also, like and sub if you're also one of those people that do watch. I appreciate it so much, guys. But yeah, let's get into these topics, these fast topics, guys, because I don't want to keep you guys waiting too long. Let's go through these real fast, guys. There's a lot of fast ones, but there's also one I just found recently I didn't even know about. It's an IGM one, but we're going to get into that a little bit later. Okay, so let's get into the first fast topic. All right, so Marvel Cosmic Invasion demo data mine finds 2 heroes. So I did play this demo this week, the Marvel's Cosmic Invasion, and it's really good. It's made by the people who did Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge and Streets of Rage 2 or 4. So if you like that start of art style with that beat 'em up style with friends, this is a game for you with Marvel characters. I played it. It's pretty solid. It's pretty good, but it definitely feels like that generic beat 'em up game. It has aspects where it could be fun. I just played it with myself, but I think playing with others would be a blast. It's probably a better experience, to be honest. Well, they found out in data mines that there will be 2 other characters added to the game, which is Iron Man and Phoenix. Jean Grey, pretty much the Phoenix, joins Marvel Cosmic Invasion according to the data mine. So yeah, they're adding that with Black Panther, Rocket Raccoon. We know those. I played with Wolverine and Storm. I like the X-Men characters in general. If they had Cyclops, I would have picked Cyclops or Nightcrawler or Rogue or Gambit or any of those characters, but they only had, for the demo, Wolverine and Storm. There were some other ones like Venom. Who else was there? Captain America, Nova, She-Hulk. Really weird. Who else? I forget who else. But there was like a bunch of others. Rocket Raccoon. There was so much characters. So yeah. Just letting you guys know, if you are interested in this beat 'em up, I recommend it. Hopefully it won't be as much. It feels like a $20 game-esque. Or a little bit cheaper. Hopefully it's not like 30 or 40. But we'll see with this one. But it is enjoyable. Nevertheless, it is an enjoyable game. Okay. Let's get into the next one here real quick, guys. So I didn't want to bring this up, but I will. So we have this article here, and it says Palworld crossed a line. Says formal Capcom designer. So a Capcom designer says that Palworld has crossed it. That it's doing something that's not good. So let's see, where's the start here? The ex-Capcom designer in question is Yoshiki Akamoto, who spoke about the Nintendo v. Palworld lawsuit in their latest YouTube video, which IGN translated. One of the first comments started was that the game crossed a line that should not. Let me zoom in here. Should not be. Where's it translated? The first that it should be not be crossed, and he doesn't wish for the world to accept this kind of thing. Akamoto added that Palworld will be officially fine to play if they settle with Nintendo. However, it is unacceptable currently as it is being sued. We request the players, please don't buy it, as we will be supporting the game by playing it. Later on, Okamoto went on speaking about Palworld's development, Pocket Pair, calling it anti, I don't know, XXX. The kanji character was buried out in the audio and subtitle. However, it ended up sparking backlash in the comment section. Let's see. The former Capcom designer also confirmed that although many people have recommended Palworld to him, he had never played the game and has no intention of playing the game by spending money on it. Okamoto also spoke out how Pocket Pal winning the lawsuit could be determined detrimental to the industry, as copyright infringement could become more acceptable for games with good reviews. Okay, so this guy, let me see, what did he do actually at Capcom? He's an ex-Capcom designer. Also spoke about a predictions that Pocket, however, has worked on games such as Street Fighter 2 and the original Resident Evil game. Okay, so he's an OG. Okay, so my whole thing about it is we need to chill out and stop giving Nintendo credit for everything. But also, Pocket Pal, is it Pocket Pal? Or Palworld? We don't have to give them a pass either. I think in this situation, Nintendo, as we know, they want this game to be gone. Like, straight up. They want this to be gone. Why can't you have a game that has, catching monsters type of game like Pokemon as Palworld? I don't have a problem with that. Or just summoning, because I heard Nintendo, they've been trying to do this. They're trying to do lawsuits, getting a patent of making Nintendo only making games that has summoning monsters, which a lot of games, especially fantasy games, have summoning monsters. So you can't patent an idea like that. Now, this is where the slippery slope comes from. So he's saying Nintendo shouldn't, Pocket Pal should not be doing this. It's a little too much. It's going to ruin the industry. I say no, because what is happening is, because how big Palworld got, Nintendo now has to try harder, or Game Freak, for Pokemon. So competition is good. It is good for that aspect. But the problem is, the monsters in this game look so similar to a lot of Pokemon characters. That's the problem itself. A lot of it, the character designs to everything feels like copy and paste. That's my only issue with this. So that's the problem with this mostly. But summoning monsters, capturing monsters, doing your own type of game out of capturing these mini monsters, summoning them, all that, and like building and, aspect on the, and then giving it different aspects like guns and all that stuff, and creating worlds and everything, and, doing different things with Palworld. That is fine. It's just where the problem hits is, I think, the creativity of this game looking very close to Pokemon. Nintendo wants this to be gone completely. They're trying to patent summoning monsters, all this. He's not bringing that up because that is a flaw on both sides, not just Nintendo or Palworld. They're both flawed in that aspect. They both have problems. In this aspect, I feel like Palworld should do whatever they want. I'm on Palworld's side on this, even though Nintendo, in some instances, I would be saying, okay, yeah, but I feel like Nintendo wants this game gone, like completely. If they said only, okay, change how your monster designs look, then I would be like, okay, that's fair. But they want other things, like you can't throw Pokeballs no more where they come out. You can't use, all this kind of thing to make it less of what it was supposed to be kind of game. That's the problem about this whole thing and the result of it. So in this aspect, I hope Palworld wins this and Nintendo loses, because Nintendo has been winning a lot, and I feel like they really need an L for this one for sure. I think they are losing, sort of. There might be an agreement now for both of them, but yeah. And this ex Capcom guy, he's just, let's be real, he's shilling for Nintendo. He's for Nintendo all the way. He's not seeing the bigger picture about this whole thing. He's just, Nintendo is right, Palworld is wrong, kind of deal. And that's not how it goes. Nothing is black and white, you know? So, yeah, this is dumb, and what a dumb argument, pretty much. Nothing actually viable in information at all, to be honest. Nothing. Dumb argument, dumb say, just straight up, yeah, that's not good for the industry. That's not. No, competition is good, because if Pokemon's the only one that has summoning, we're doomed. We're doomed straight up. There's no way. Other games need to have summoning abilities. You could have monster characters. It's fine. It's a fantasy game. It's fine. All right. Why didn't Nintendo go after Digimon? Why didn't Nintendo go after Yu-Gi-Oh? They have monster summoning abilities. Why didn't they go after Final Fantasy? There's literally every game has a summon. No, it's only Palworld. It's the dumbest thing, and it doesn't make no sense. It doesn't make no sense. All right. All right, check this out, guys. Next topic. Next fast topic. I just saw this. Halo CE, Halo Combat Evolved, my bad. Halo Combat Evolved Remake is in co-development by a virtuous studio, it's claimed. Why? Why is Combat Evolved? Why?
Huh?
Why do we need a remake of Combat Evolved? The Master Chief Collection has already a good version of Halo, Halo 1, Combat Evolved. It's fine. It looks good. It's like it's a remake. It's actually a full remake, but it's faithful remake. It's a faithful remake. It's not a remaster by any chance. It's more of a remake. They already remade the game. So this would be just a reimagining, because Halo is in such a bad place right now, just the IP itself, that they're just going back. We're going to redo Halo, but we're going to do it with another kind of story, the same way, but reimagined kind of thing. That's what they're trying to think of. Not remake, reimagine. The yet-to-be-announced Halo Combat Evolved remake may be co-developed by one of Virtuous Studios. Two new reliable claims state. The Halo series is one of Xbox's signature franchise alongside Gears of War and Forza, bringing the FPS genre to a new place. It has been going strong since 2001 with Combat Evolved. With the upcoming 25th anniversary of the original title, many have speculated that a remake of the game was been in works. Earlier leaks and a suitable tease from Halo Studios have hinted at it, but according to Xbox Era and Mr. Rebs, it's a production and already has another studio attached to help. So Acclaim first made Halo centric YouTube reported this. And interesting enough, a new showcase event focused on Halo World Championship October 24th, 2025. So yeah, this studio might be working off rumor or teaser, who knows what, for a Halo Combat Evolved remake. I don't think we need one, to be honest. Really, I don't think we really do need one. What would it bring on to the table? Like, you have the Master Chief Collection. It's a complete collection, and it's the best version of Halo you can have. What does this add to the table? All I can think of is they're going to redo the whole story for it. Still going to have points from the original, but redo the story. Maybe add some sort of different side missions or different things. Maybe like a more open world space like Halo Infinite. I don't know. Like that's all I can think of. Like maybe changing some gameplay features, but still, it's gonna be Halo. It's not gonna be much different to Halo. So I don't know about this one, guys. I think this one's it's not needed. Really, it's not needed. There's no point for this one, I think personally. But someone will eat it up. Someone will probably play this game. It won't be me for sure. I think it's fine as is. But we'll see. We'll see how much of a difference. I think it's just gonna be the remake upscaled even more. That's all it's gonna be, to be honest. Something like that. Who knows? But that's that for that one. Okay. Next topic, guys. There's a lot here too. Oh shit. Oh, here we go. Let's see this one. So this one's by Pirate Nation on X, and it says Rockstar co-founder Dan Houser says he didn't write GTA 6. The world had the world had enough GTA from me. The game will be great, I'm sure. So he says he did not write for GTA 6. I think he started it and then left Rockstar, if I'm correct. But he had a script for it. So Rockstar co-founder Dan Housing says he didn't write of GTA 6. The world's probably had enough GTA from me. Right. Rockstar, wait, what? Rockstar boss thankful not to be releasing GTA 6 during Trump's presidency. What? What kind of article is that? Holy shit. He probably doesn't want to write any woke slop. If that means he's working on the new Red Dead, I'm off. I'm all in. Huge L. He was behind all of the best Rockstar games. That is so true. That is so true. He made a lot of great, even though I think this is just speak for people don't want to see what I have to say anymore. I've done what I've done before. Like, there's no other stories I can tell. That's bullshit. Translation, it's gonna suck. Yeah, I'm out. The series and GTA 5 in particular still sell millions to this day. Yeah, the world has definitely had enough GTA from Dan Housing. Dan, right? More like someone from Take-Two had enough GTA from him. True. Maybe he just... Yeah, as someone higher up than him pretty much said, you can go now. Because he didn't add something that they wanted. And yeah, it's a shame. I already have GTA 6 at home. That's crazy. I don't like the sound of that. He doesn't sound so sure. Yeah. This is just PR talk. This is just a bunch of bullshit for sure. He would have done GTA 6 easily. It's just someone higher up than him, which is crazy, said, no, you can't do that. And then he's like, well, if I can, I'm out. Something like that. Pretty much that was the whole story of that. All right, here we go. Check this story out, guys. This is crazy. So another one with Pirate Nation. A woman won a Mortal Kombat tournament while holding her newborn in her arms just 5 days after giving birth.
Holy shit.
That's crazy. Holy shit, man. That's crazy. Yo, she beat all these plebs, all these gamers. That's crazy while having a baby. Now that's pro right there. That's a pro gamer. Babytality. Shit. That's so awesome. Girl power. She won $28. Yo, she won $28. Yo, what the fuck? That's not true. That's not true. That's a. I don't know if that's a good mom or a based mom. I don't even know. She's so good. She didn't put the baby down to entire tournament while she was in the on the phone. That's crazy. I love how chat asleep. The baby is in her arms, and I bet this got some people triggered. But that's the world we live in. This is going to be one of those picture kids will show off their parents on Reddit and online. She looks like Katana. She kind of does, actually. That is legit. That's badass. Talk about a power move. Wow, impressive. That's so funny, but crazy. Yikes. I think it's fun. I think it's just proving that I can be both. I could be a pro at some sort of game, and I could be a pro at being a mom at the same time. That's pretty insane. That's pretty insane. Hopefully, it wasn't too nerve-wracking for her winning and stuff, but that is pretty awesome. I'm not going to lie. That's a power play right there. You did both. You did a great job if you did both. Great job, guys. Great job. She did a great job. All right, here's some more. Another one. Future Silent Hill games won't follow the Silent Hill F formula, producer says. We want to experiment with each new title. So, since Silent Hill F is like a spin-off of Silent Hill, the mainline ones, that was like an experiment, which was pretty much Fatal Frame, let's be honest. But they want to experiment more for future Silent Hill games, which is fine. I think experimenting and trying new things is okay, but it still has to have the essence of a feel of Silent Hill, like what it used to be, like we're going to talk about with Silent Hill 1 Remake. They're doing that with Blooper. I'm fine with that, experimenting with new things, but it still has to have the essence of Silent Hill, because you cannot have a Silent Hill game and it's all action orientated in some way. Well, it's like, what happened? This is not scary no more. So it doesn't feel like Silent Hill. That's the only concern I have. But besides that, sure, experiment as much as you want, but it still has to have the main essence of Silent Hill. That's it. So yeah, that's what I think about that one. Moving on. Okay. We got a lot of Xbox here. It's crazy Xbox. But I saw this recently, actually while I was going on. I think we should watch the video for it. Excuse me. The video for it. I need a drink real quick. Sorry, guys. All right, we should definitely check it, because I saw this on X, and I think this would be interesting to look at. So, IGN posted this on X on Twitter. We're going to see this article and probably watch the video, actually. But it says, I'm a huge fan of PlayStation's first-party offerings, but where in the past this brand of glossy storytelling felt like a new ground being trodden. I can't help but feel that recently it's become the well-worn road. I'm getting bored of every PlayStation game telling the same story. So this is what came up, and people are trashing on it, meaning how is God of War, Ghost of Yotai, and Last of Us similar in ways? Like, how is the story the same? They're all different. Well, maybe it's the revenge story kind of deal. Like, I don't know. Like, the stories are similar. I think it's just the third-person camera's storytelling aspect, the cinematic. I think that's what he means by being very similar. Like, all these games are third person, and they have that really prestige like storytelling to the point where it feels similar to the other one. Don't tell me in Ghost of Yotai she also pulls an Ellie and doesn't get revenge. If that ends up being the case. Okay, so it's a revenge. Yo, this is crazy. Uncharted, Uncharted lesbian, Uncharted zombie, Uncharted robot, Uncharted delivery, Uncharted Viking, Uncharted samurai, Uncharted space. Yo, that's actually crazy.
Holy shit.
That's crazy. Everything's just Uncharted now. Yeah, Uncharted pretty much started this trend, this third-person thing. But Uncharted, I feel like I could still go back to Uncharted and still enjoy it, you know? But I think Uncharted lesbian's pretty crazy. Is that Nadine? I don't know what that is. Oh, no, I think that's Last of Us. That's Ellie. Yeah, it's Ellie. And then Uncharted Zombie is Days Gone. Uncharted Robot is, what is it? Horizon Zero Dawn. Uncharted Delivery, Death Stranding. Uncharted Vikings, or Viking is God of War. Uncharted Samurai is Ghost of Tsushima or Yotai. Uncharted Space. I think this is, what is that? Like roguelike shooter. I forgot what it's called. I think it's that. That is pretty crazy, though. All of those games are 100% better. Man, every Xbox exclusive in the last 15 years. Yeah. Crying PlayStation. Yep. But Uncharted is just Tomb Raider. Man. That is why he is the GOAT. He is the blueprint. Yeah. See, he sort of is for PlayStation because he was like the one that started this cinematic kind of like let's make cool action cinematic storytelling games and stuff. I think Uncharted started that up, but back then that was revolutionary, you know, for that time. Even though with Metal Gear actually doing it first, Uncharted just improved on it. I hated the part where I was driving my car in Gran Turismo 7 and suddenly I had to avenge my dead parents and raise a child like my own. So people are like making fun of it. Obviously, yeah, like, what do you mean same storytelling? Same, it's like, it's a little different, but yeah. But I went on the site to see it, and I think it would be interesting to check this video out. It's a 10-minute video. Hopefully it won't be too long. I'll stop it in between to see if there's any actually good parts to say. But let's just check this out. I want to see what he thinks about this. So why did he write this article?
I'm a huge fan of PlayStation's first-party offerings. They've come to embody the sort of cinematic adventures I've always looked for when sitting down with a controller in my hand, feeling like genuine blockbuster events meant to be savoured. But where in the past this brand of glossy storytelling felt like new ground being trodden, I can't help but feel that recently it's become the well-worn road. It's not just that all of PlayStation's major releases adhere to the now trademark third-person cinematic stylings. It's that the stable of developers has become seemingly obsessed with stories that explore the exact same themes, grief and revenge. And I'm starting to get a little tired of it.
Oh, that's definitely Last of Us Part 2. That's definitely it, too. But yeah, the storytelling hasn't changed. He hasn't talked about Uncharted yet. Because that one, I don't think it has grief and revenge. It's all about just this person obsessed with knowing more and just being like a thief sort of thing. So
as a rule, these games are all impeccably well made, but I'm starting to miss that era when PlayStation's range felt wider and things were a little bit more fun.
Getting bored of PlayStation games.
The realization that so many PlayStation games have explored the same grim story themes struck me when playing through Sucker Punch's new Ghost of Yotai. While I thoroughly enjoyed it and admire its consistently exciting approach to combat and genuine sense of discovery it creates for exploration, I couldn't help but feel I'd been told its story before. As Atsu, you're tasked with...
You probably have. You probably have. This story has nothing new to say, I would say. You had this in Ghost of Tsushima. It's just a repeat, just with a female kind of story. There might be some instances a little bit different, but it's still the same trend. You're going to go John Wick on all these people that burnt your town, blah, blah, blah. All the things, like, we've seen these story plots, happen. It's not creative anymore. It's the same shit, but go on.
Avenging the death of your parents on a blood-soaked journey across 17th century Japan as you hunt down each of the Yotei Six. Not only is this tale unfortunately close to the plot of Assassin's Creed Shadows, which I also played to completion earlier this year, but it's the same combination of fiery...
Assassin's Creed Shadows had the same plot? That's insane. I didn't even play Assassin's Creed Shadows. It looked like crap. Not gonna lie, it looked like crap, and it had a bunch of dumb shit in it. Ubisoft did, and it pissed off a whole country pretty much, and I was like, hell no, I'm not touching that game.
Your revenge arc, crossed with meditations on what it is to grieve, that has become something of a hallmark for PlayStation Studios in recent years.
I'm sorry it came to this, little wolf.
2019's The Last of Us Part 2 is an obvious trailblazer, with Ellie's dark descent into a rage-filled embodiment of revenge coming as a result of the death of her father figure, Joel. That, of course, was the sequel to the 2013 original that explored how Joel struggled to cope with the death of his own daughter. At the time, The Last of Us was seen as fueling a wave of sad dad games, including 2018's God of War. But in hindsight, these were just the building blocks for PlayStation's preoccupation with grief.
This one also
Find your way home. You are free.
2022's God of War Ragnarok is a story fueled by the loss of mothers and sons and the anger that comes with them. Insomniac's Spider-Man series follows both Peter Parker and Miles Morales as they attempt to overcome supervillain threats, as well as wrestle with their demons stemming from dead parental figures.
She never thought about herself, even when she was struggling to breathe.
2020's Returnal is a...
Everything has to be super emotional now. It can't just be like a game that's fun now. Everything's emotional. Oh, this is the game I was talking about, the sci-fi thing. Returnal, this is it.
Looping sci-fi nightmare born out of the protagonist Celine's familial grief-related trauma. And then there's 2025's other big PlayStation exclusive, Death Stranding 2 on the Beach, which may not technically be a first-party game, but certainly is a verifiable feast of maternal and paternal anguish. Don't get me wrong, I'm a fan of all the games listed above, each singular in its depictions of characters and each offering wildly different gameplay experiences. But when viewed as a whole, it's easy to hear that their stories are all being sung from the same hymn sheet. Familial grief is at the centre of all of these stories, and while I certainly feel that mature themes have a place in games, it is all starting to feel like I'm getting hit around the head with the same ideas at this point. The cycle of violence is in very real danger of becoming a loop of diminishing returns.
You gutted my father.
He defied Lord Saito.
Then you tried to burn me alive.
Of course, it's true that not every PS5 game follows this pattern. Astro Bot isn't an exploration of generational trauma in deep space, but you catch my drift. I think that's incidentally what I enjoyed so much about Team Asobi's Ode to PlayStation of
it's a
old.
little different.
With its joy and color standing out.
Yeah, they have those games. This is why I was talking about. We need to bring back some platformers PlayStation's missing, as well as, you have like Gran Turismo, as we saw one of the comments say. Gran Turismo racing game. Twisted Metal. Bring back Twisted Metal. Make it great in some way. That was different. Like, you have all these story-driven games like Uncharted. We really don't need these constantly. And that's the thing. They all feel a bit similar in that aspect. I understand his premise, what he's actually trying to bring out here. I understand it. It feels similar, and it's also storytelling feels similar, but it's that cinematic third over the camera shoulder aspect of it that feels similar. Like, I've played this one before, but in a different, environment, different style, but it's still the same story driven, the same revenge, grief, all the things that you know about. They're adding that in there, which everything just wants to be John Wick, I guess, in that aspect, I guess. But that's why I liked Uncharted, because you had a story that really doesn't develop too much. It develops a bit in each Uncharted game, but the Uncharted franchise is very similar. You have characters that you known from the first to the very last. They go through this whole journey, and really the characters don't evolve or change that much over time, just like a tiny bit, and you get a little bit more detail about characters. But most of the time, it's just there's this guy trying to find this treasure, and there's these other guys that are worse than the main character, because the main character is not a hero. Let's not make Nathan Drake a hero. He wasn't a hero. He was a thief. He just, like Lara Croft, he just wanted the treasure for himself and the knowledge of it, and he had the thrill to do that. He would wanted to go through it. He had an urge to do it all. And they tried to explore that in 4, why he's doing that. He just loves the adventure. It gives a spark to him. He needs the adventure. It gives him life, I guess. He loves doing the adventure aspect of learning new things, exploring. And then if he can, he puts a pocket of gold in his pocket and feels good that he just took something, for himself, and he could build on it because he found it. He is a thief in general, but there are people that are worse than him. So you have this aspect of just that Pulp Fiction kind of like Indiana Jones story, and it's just that it's more of an adventure. No one's really a hero in that aspect. But that's pretty much the whole story of Uncharted. Those are the stories, and now you have. That's a little different. That's not really changing. It just gameplay was the same pretty much. It just added a little bit more to it. People just liked it because of the characters and the storytelling kind of aspect. And the gameplay was kind of fun too, but I don't know. It's different with other games, I guess. But it feels similar. Everyone has to be, emotional, crying, all this and that. It has to give out that cinematic look to it, I would say.
From the otherwise morose crowd. It felt like a rarity, but it never used to be this way. The PS3 gave us Naughty Dog's Uncharted era, which, although it eventually ventured into more melancholic territory in A Thief's End, firmly planted its flag in themes of adventure with a tone ripped from the pages of Pulp Fiction.
Yes, that's what I said. All 3 of them. The 4th one a little bit changed.
I've always had a soft spot for Insomniac's Resistance and its World War II/sci-fi warfare mashup, as well as Little Big Planet, which, all the way at the other end of the tonal spectrum, celebrated creativity and community.
Welcome to Bunkum Chummy Chum Chum, where the sky is strewn with circling clouds of imagination.
Yes, these games all contained varying levels of character nuances, but were all fundamentally about different things. Treasure hunting, alien invasions, and personal expression. They weren't all trying to serve the same story. And I can't help but feel that if a new Jak and Daxter game were to come out today, it would be about an Otzel's thirst for revenge against the killers of his blonde-haired friend.
Hang on, Dax, it's gonna be close.
I hope that future PlayStation exclusives can...
He's not wrong. He's not wrong about that. He's not wrong. This is, people are hating on IGN, but this is actually sort of a W in that aspect, actually. Now they're actually thinking about it, what these games actually mean and what they're it just feels the same. And he said that the PS5 generation had very similar games to each other. And he said that even during the PS4 era, I felt like a lot of them were trying to do this third-person camera, and these stories felt very similar to an aspects-wise. It was, I'm not saying they're bad. They just feel similar. Something's like, can we have something a bit different, you know? It's, people would say, oh, you're just criticizing it too much. No, actually, it's just creative bankruptcy. They don't know what to create. Like, the stories need to be, you know, just feel different. Feel like a Mass Effect. Like he was saying, like a Killzone or like a Resistance, like something different style, you know? We don't want the same third person. Like, where's the good first-person shooter game? Where's the creative game like Little Big Planet? Where is the good platformers besides, you know, Astrobot? Like, where are these games at, you know? It's just all third-person, over-their-shoulder cinematic experiences. It's just all that. Like, what?
Look to this more varied, interesting past for inspiration, even when choosing to tackle more serious subject matters. Team Ico's PS2 classic Shadow of the Colossus took on a mournful tone, but found something truly unique and poignant within it.
Very unique.
At a time when such ideas were far less common in games. It stands as a unique masterpiece to this day, telling its tale through vagaries and minimal cutscenes, a far cry from the trademark cinematic style we now expect of PlayStation games. What we didn't have back in the mid-2000s were 5 more PS2 releases that took its exact contemplations on love and loss and told the same story in a different wrapping. Every time you played something new from Sony Studios on the now 25-year-old console, it felt like a brand new experiment with a different story to tell, not just a variation on a theme. That brings me back to Ghost of Yotai, a game that is superior to its predecessor in almost every aspect, barring its central story.
My name.
Besides its central story, it's better in every way besides its story. Ooh. Ooh. Ooh.
Hey, yo, what the fuck? No!
Is Atsu.
While I connect to Atsu more than I ever did Jin Sakai, she's a much warmer presence to spend a few dozen hours with. Ghost of Tsushima's narrative explores different, fresher ground. The story balances the personal struggles of Jin against the backdrop of an invasion of a nation, with themes of honor, betrayal, and belonging striking a chord and making it stand out when it arrived hot on the heels of The Last of Us Part 2 in 2020, before grief seemingly took hold of every Sony storyteller. Perhaps PlayStation's interest in grief is a reflection of the state of the world, though. When viewed through the lens of when PS5 exclusives like Ghost of Yotai and Death Stranding were being written, that melancholy is somewhat understandable. The COVID pandemic inarguably took hold of our planet in the years 2020 and 2021. And as such, themes surrounding unexpected loss and mass trauma would no doubt have been at the forefront of many minds. It will therefore be intriguing to see if this pattern will continue much further then, now that the world has somewhat settled back into what it looked like beforehand. Will the stories being told in projects that began production post-2022 mirror a different state of the planet, or continue to look inside ourselves at our darkest moments? These are, of course, all valid tales to tell, and I'm a huge proponent of art being reflections of those creating it. But I can't help but wish for a little more variety going forward.
Oh yeah.
I will find every last member of the Yote Six.
I agree. There needs more variety of games. That's why you go into the indie space. There's all sorts of different games at the indie space. This is why. You don't look for AAA anymore for this. You look for the indie space. There you go.
And I will bring you peace.
There's a reason to be hopeful and skeptical, considering what Sony has coming up next.
Oh, Wolverine?
Insomniac's Wolverine looks to be delivering on all of the gore and decapitation you'd hope to see. But will that mature rating be reflected in its themes?
Nope. It's going to be the same as the other ones you just said. It's going to be so similar. It's the same AAA thing that you're going to have again. It's the same
That's
thing.
always waiting.
Logan is certainly a character consumed by lust for revenge. Will that see us taken down a familiar path of burying past demons through ultra-violence? Or will we get an altogether different story that taps into a different part of his psyche, James Mangold's Logan already told us a tale that would have slotted nicely into PlayStation's sad dad canon, as X-23 tapped into the softer side of his adamantium body. So I do hope we don't just get a rerun of that idea here.
It's gonna be insane.
We also know that Saros is on the way from Housemarque in March, and it certainly looked impressive in the most recent State of Play stream.
Yeah, it looked different a little bit. Still looked like Return though.
As for Naughty Dog, the ground zero of this long-running era of grief, we know that the studio will be taking on the sci-fi realm next with Intergalactic: The
I don't
Heretic
expect
Prophet.
anything good out of
Its
this
first
one.
trailer was promising, delivering a more
I don't see anything good about this one. I'll keep my eyes peeled for this, but I don't see anything for this game. I have no... I have nothing to really get excited for this game from just what I just saw. Maybe if they show some gameplay, we will see, but what they showed off, I'm definitely not excited about this game.
fun-filled tone than we'd ever dream of seeing from The Last of Us. Of course, we've barely scratched the surface here, but it would be fantastic to see Naughty Dog rediscovering some of that Uncharted levity here.
Yeah, but you don't have Amy Hennig anymore working there. You kicked her out of Naughty Dog. She had those good adventure stories. Yeah.
Both of these upcoming PS5 games, incidentally, are stories about people investigating lost off-world colonies. I hope for my sake that they find wildly different stories to tell on each of them, rather than discover reminders of the grief they've left behind.
But after every death, I always
I thought this was when
For
I
more on
first saw that game, I thought it was the Order 1886. Remember that game? That game looked interesting. Why can't we have something like that? Oh wait, it's too generic.
Ghost of Yotai, make sure to check out our review, and for everything
cool,
else,
though.
keep it locked to IGN.
Yeah, so I thought this was interesting to see. There's nothing else after this, but I thought this was interesting that IGN posted this because I usually never see IGN actually like pointing things out like this. They just like to shill and do things. It's really rare when you see IGN actually have something interesting to talk about in this aspect. They're just pointing out that a lot of things look similar for PlayStation, and maybe it would be better to broaden out more different types of game styles, I guess, and maybe different storytelling aspects of it. That's all he's pretty much saying. But again, IGN is IGN. It has a bad name now, and a lot of people are just making fun of them. So it is what it is, but I think that wasn't actually a rare dub for IGN for now, but that's just me, though. I think that was a rare dub for IGN for that. I was actually surprised about that for sure with IGN. Crazy that I'm actually saying that IGN is actually right in this aspect, which is crazy. I would never say that. But they are. They are saying the right things. Okay. Let's get into the main topics now, guys. That was a little bit longer than I expected it, but let's get into it. Since it's the spooky month, let's get into Silent Hill 1 Remake. Okay, so I'm on Insider Gaming here, and they have this article, and it says, Silent Hill 1 Remake now in full production at Blooper Team. So, a few months ago, we got a tease of Silent Hill 1 Remake, but we didn't know who will be making it. So, we found out it was Blooper Team. So, Blooper Team just made Chronos the Dawn, that Chronos Dawn game, and what I've heard of it, it's actually pretty good. It's not like a huge IP. It's their first new IP, and that's why it's a little bit, on the lacking on the side because it doesn't have anything backing it. It's a little bit new. Maybe over time, people will like Chronos the Dawn, and they'll give it a try. Maybe they'll do sequels for it. Who knows? But it had an interesting aspect to it. It was pretty good, what I've heard. Now, they had that in the background, but they were also working on Silent Hill 1. So they got red lighted to do, or green lighted, I would say, to do Silent Hill 1 now blooper. As you know, Silent Hill 2 Remake, when I tried it out, I played a little bit of it, and I didn't beat it fully, but I did play a little bit of it. It was fine. It was okay, but it was lacking in the aspect of horror, I would say. It didn't have that feel to the original Silent Hill 2. I felt like the emotions hit better. A bunch of other things, even it doesn't matter how good the dialogue is better in cinematics. It just, for some reason, it didn't feel like what Silent Hill 2 should have been. And I feel like they tried to tone it down a bit. And that's what gave it the feel that it felt more mediocre, like a middle ground, than being actually great and expanding on the Silent Hill 2, making it more. Which it kind of did with some new endings, but not much. So they're giving another shot with Silent Hill 1. So this one is going to be even more crazy and more grotesque, I would say. There's more crazier stuff in Silent Hill 1, you know, with the cult and all this and that. It's just, there's a lot of things in this that they couldn't say in Silent Hill 2, which even then they toned down a lot of aspects in Silent Hill 2. But this one is going to go even crazier with that, with Silent Hill 1. This is the one I think they should have started first, to be exact, because it's a PS1 game. It's an older one. But let's continue. Let's see what they said. Blooper Team, the studio behind Silent Hill 2 Remake, is now in full flow working on a Silent Hill 1 remake, as revealed during a recent shareholders update. It was confirmed that the studio is split into 2 first-party teams, and while one is working on the Silent Hill 1 remake, the second team is working on a second project that wasn't unveiled. Okay, so that's not the Chronos one? Then how many teams does Blooper have now? That's crazy. Silent Hill 2 was released by Blooper in October 2024 and received overwhelmingly positive reviews. It's a stellar rebuilding of an iconic title that helped pave the way for the horror genre, and fans are chomping at the bit to see what Blooper can do with Silent Hill 1. Okay, yes, I would say it split the community, but it was an alright game. I'm not going to hate on it, you know, as much as like a lot of others did. I had concerns of it when it first started coming out. I did. You could check my older videos back then. I had very concerns about what they were doing. But it wasn't as good as I thought it would have been, you know. The original's still better. Remaking a cult classic, Silent Hill debuted in 1999 on the PlayStation platform, emerging as a chilling and terrifying game that scared the pants out of gamers for years to come. It introduced the setting of the same name, which was since became synonymous with horror, much like Resident Evil Raccoon City, and has been conveyed by other entertainment media since, such as feature films. It's widely considered one of the best horror games, or just games in general, ever made. I wouldn't say no to that. I could see that. Recently, Blooper Team spoke at length about the performance of the studio, torching the Chronos New Dawn, that's the game I was talking about, and the ongoing success of Silent Hill 2. One investor asked about future projects and the current roadmap, to which Blooper management team confirmed. We have 2 first-party production teams, one of which is working on Silent Hill 1, and the other has begun work on a second project. The second party team is currently working on 5 projects. Holy shit.
Holy shit.
That's crazy. Blooper is getting a lot of work. That's insane. But see, my concern about Blooper is they got the atmosphere right for a lot of things, but they have so many dumb jump scares in their games. They have so many. It's just not scary. It's just they got the atmosphere right, I would say, in some areas. They do, but it's just not scary. It's not scary. Like, in the dark, the thing's scary, but when it pops up, it's not scary. Like, nothing about Blooper when they have these, the atmosphere makes it only scary. They're good with that, with the sound design and everything, but they're not good at actually scaring people. Like, it's not a scary game. Since it's a horror game, it's not scary. And that's the problem with Blooper, I think. They keep doing these dumb things. They don't know how to do actually scary things. But they're good with the environments and stuff. Those are pretty good. You know, the sound design, everything, like the build-up. But the build-up's not good, usually. It's just, it feels flat, you know? Given the immense success of the first Silent Hill remake, it stands to reason that the next wouldn't be equally as well received. Unfortunately, it took around 5 years to produce Silent Hill 2, so it might be a long while before Blooper team ready to reveal Silent Hill 1. Yeah, so we known about this, and it's pretty much, we know now that they're working on it. It's happening. And that's pretty much just the update. And they're working on something else also in the background, another IP, which we don't know yet. So, not to be announced yet, but maybe it'll be announced at Game Awards or something. We don't know. That would be interesting, you know? So, yeah, that's Silent Hill 1 remake for you guys. It's crazy. Crazy. All right, let's get into this Resident Evil thing. Next big topic. All right, I'm on Insider Gaming, and they have another one here, and it says Resident Evil Requiem is almost an upgrade of Resident Evil 2's style of horror and gameplay. What?
Huh?
Okay, so it was like a Resident Evil 2 style game, but it was upgraded. Almost an upgrade of RE2. So it was an RE2 style, but it changed. Okay. Let's see what they mean by this. Resident Evil Requiem director has revealed that the upcoming title can be considered almost an upgrade of Resident Evil 2's style of horror and gameplay. I liked Resident Evil 2, though. I like the original Resident Evil 2, but I think he's talking about the remake. The original's good. I like the remake, too. I know people, like, it's a hit or miss with some people, but I like the 2 remake too. You know, it's not as good as the original, obviously, because there's some dumb story plot lines, like changes they did, but it's still a pretty good game. Capcom's 9th installment in the Resident Evil series is set to arrive on February 27, 2025, or 2020. It said 2025. It's 2026. Sorry. Got that wrong. It's not the 9th in the series. If you're being technical with this, it would be like the 11th, I would say. Because you got to count in Resident Evil 0 and Code Veronica. Those also have to do with the story plot. So this would be the 11th of the series, the 11th game. And we have received a wealth of information about the upcoming title through interviews and developers. Dev's upcoming title has been told that the Requiem leans more toward RE2 than RE4. That is good. So if it plays like RE2 style, I'm going to be fantastic. I liked RE2. I know some people liked RE4 as well, but I feel like I like the aspect where I'm searching areas, finding new things, opening new things, you know, item management. I like that. That's why I really enjoy the remake of RE1 or remaster remake. That's like one of my favorite. I like that kind of game. I like to know like the puzzle solving aspect, like, you know, the shooting, of course, like how much ammo I need. Am I gonna run out? Do I need to run away from this situation, or do I have to fight back? I like that. I don't want to be like the OP, like, that part's also fun. Like, I'm not hating on RE4. It's a different kind of game. I like that too. Not saying it's bad. I just prefer RE2 style more, if that makes sense. Okay, so the director of Resident Evil Requiem, Koshi Naganishi, spoke about taking inspiration from RE2 during a new interview. And Naganishi first explained how players can broadly classify Resident Evil titles on a scale of how much they like Resident Evil 2 or Resident Evil 4. He said that Resident Evil 7 leans more toward RE2. Yes, RE7 is more of, it's closer to like RE1 almost, and RE2, yeah, in that style. Yeah, it is. But I just didn't care about the main character. That was the problem with RE7. It didn't, like, you can't, I don't know, maybe because he's supposed to play like you, Ethan, like you see him in the first person perspective, but he didn't resonate with me, the character, like the main character. I don't know. More towards RE2, thanks to the return to survival horror roots. And Resident Evil Village is more towards the RE4 side of things. Yes, it really was. It almost inspired it, pretty much. Thanks to the action and gameplay. When the developers kept heading into direction of adding more and more action to outdo the previous title, they ended up with games like Resident Evil 5 and 6, which were good. Still, the consensus was that the series was pushed so far in the action direction that it was no longer horror. Yes, I agree with that. I'd rather be like a nice balance, I would say. Like, it's usually in the beginning, it's more slower paced and more you're going to have to do this and that, like try to find out what is going on. You have less ammo, you're vulnerable. It's like at the end section where it starts ramping up, where you have more weapons, you get stronger over time. That's like in every Resident Evil almost. You just get you become more of a badass at the end. The director didn't want to pursue the same treatment with Resident Evil 9, where they had tried to outdo the action in Village. Instead, they intended to always firmly swing the scale toward the Resident Evil 2 style, which makes Requiem almost an upgrade of RE2 style. That's fine with me. I like that. I like that a lot. Later in the interviews, Nagaishi spoke about how they have created so many horror games that they can't tell if they're scary until someone else plays it. The team has also concerned that the game might not be horrifying enough for hands-off experience at CGF and the hands-on experience at Gamescom. Yeah, because you said you want to tone it down for a new audience kind of deal. Why? Okay, I'm asking a question. I know they want to pull new people in this game, but you got to remember where you came from and what you built for 30 years with this fan base of people loving Resident Evil. I'm just saying, I would like to, since they're saying this might be the last one in the story and ends off all of the Resident Evil games, the mainline stories, you would want to please the fans that have been with you since the beginning. So, I would think instead of getting new players into this game, new players can play the game as much as they want. You're going to have to do some homework. You're going to know what this series is all about. You're going to need to know. You could just watch a YouTube video about it. I swear. People don't want to do homework, and they just want TikTok brains and just give me the newest thing, and I will consume. I swear. If you want to be interested in the whole lore, the whole thing, you can play the games, which is a lot, and I'm not saying you can play all the games, but you're going to need to know something about Resident Evil just going into this raw in. Because this is a 9th game. It has 9 on the cover, or whatever they call it, Requiem. And it's a continuing of the franchise ever since. Technically, it's 11th, but whatever. It has a significance to it. And that's why I think it's better to connect with your old fans at this moment in time than newcomers. I think newcomers will probably like it no matter what, but you're going to have to connect with your older fans. You need to for this one. If it caps the whole thing, you're going to need to do that. I hate it that they're just doing it for that, and it has to be toned down, less scary. No, it's Resident Evil. It's one of the most sold horror games of all time. It's supposed to be survival horror, scary, and that's it. That's what it was built on, and that's how it got a huge name for itself. It's like the second most financial best game franchise for Capcom. First is Monster Hunter, but it used to be always Resident Evil first. Now it's Monster Hunter, so Resident Evil second. When asked if anything was cut from the game for being too scary, the director explained that they didn't really implement it, so it wasn't cut. At one point, they were like, what if Grace gets a big gash in her leg, or her leg gets cut off because that thing attacks her, and oh my god, it's so scary, but we talked ourselves down a little bit. Okay, so they're not going to do that like they did for Ethan, because she's going to be a human. She loses a leg, she's not going to have a leg. She's going to be in a wheelchair, or she's going to get a biotic leg or something. I don't know what they were going to do. But, yeah. At that aspect, yeah. Or like a scratch mark, she gets infected. Someone needs to help her. Like Jill, Resident Evil 3 with Carlos, trying to help Jill out. Like something like that. Talking about scary Resident Evil. Requiem. Okay. So, yeah. That's interesting. I am digging that they're doing with the RE2 style. I'm digging that. I like that a lot. But also, they have this too to add on it. This is the same place, and an article here, and it says Resident Evil Requiem bosses will have players using their wits. Okay, so it's not just shoot. You're going to have to actually solve puzzle while fighting these bosses. Cool. Resident Evil Requiem developers have confirmed that game will feature boss battles, which is good. I like boss battles. I like them. They're supposed to be epic. They're supposed to be, have some sort of oomph to them. I like games that have boss battles. I really don't like games that don't have it, to be honest. It's just a thing where boss battles feel epic, and it feels like you're actually going to defeat this last thing, or this thing that's in the way, and you feel like a badass when you defeat it. Like, I don't know, I like them, requiring players to use their brains to overcome them. So the game director, Resident Evil Requiem, Nagarishi, spoke about the title's boss fights during the new interview. Nagarishi first confirmed that the game will feature boss battles. He then discussed how it wouldn't feature bosses being defeated in a flashy manner with an emphasis on gun shooting action. Instead, the game will be more like RE1 and RE2. Cool. I'm fine with that. That's fine. I like those too. Where players expand their exploration area in a closed space and overcome obstacles using their wits. That's cool. I'm fine with that. So you fight like a giant snake. You fight like a giant, shark, bat, or whatever. That's fine. Like, areas have these, mini bosses. That's cool. The developers also discussed how the Resident Evil series features characters who are initially terrified but grow to become fearless when faced with extreme situations. Grace's experience is similar to what of others, where she is scared and the problem becomes severe through enough to drive her to a breathing point, eventually allowing her to fight her enemies. yes, that's Resident Evil style. That's pretty much it. The developers feel that being able to experience this process of growth together with the protagonist is one of the highest of the game. So yeah, bosses are going to be like RE1, RE2. That's awesome. Love to hear that. That's some good news. Good news. You know, a lot of this show, everyone's like, oh, it's going to be so negative. You know, you're so negative. I know people said that in my comments before. And no, we also have some positivity. It's just most of the big news that drops are usually pretty negative, but they're also positives too when I have big news drops. So it depends on the situation and what people are saying and what is going on. That's pretty much it for that. You know, you can't help it. You gotta report on all the shit that's going on. You know, like we're gonna report on this Xbox Game Pass price hike because that one's crazy. This might be a video, guys. Not gonna lie. This one might be a video, guys. Let's see. Let's see what's going on here. All right. Ready to rock and roll. Let's zoom in there. All right, everyone. We're on That Park Place, and they have this article here, and it says Xbox Game Pass pricing skyrockets as gamers cancel service in droves. Back a couple of videos ago, I talked about how Xbox Game Pass is not profitable for game devs really that much. It actually is not as good as most people thought they were. I was saying, like, yeah, it was good for the gamer to check out these games and play as much games as they want with a monthly subscription. But now it seems like with the price hike right now that Microsoft/Xbox has done for gamers, it seems like this price might be a little bit too steep now and too high, and now people are just blaming it on greed. So let's see what this is all about. Gamers rushing to cancel Xbox Game Pass after waking up today to some of the most unwelcome news they could imagine. Microsoft confirmed that Xbox Game Pass pricing would see its inflation. What if this is doing really well? Like, the question I give to everyone is Microsoft, Xbox, if Game Pass is doing so well, and doing so well, you wouldn't need to increase the price at all, right? If something is doing well, usually it stays on that or it goes down in price. I would think that, right? But if something is doing poorly, they would have to increase the price because they're not getting enough, cash back. They're not getting enough back financially. So I don't know if this is true or not. It could be that their Game Pass is actually not really that profitable. They're actually losing money. Or they're just greedy straight up and they just want to increase it without not caring about gamers' own intent. Why they're doing this, we're going to read into it more, but they're doing it because of reasons. The announcement triggered an immediate reaction. Reports surfaced that the official Xbox website's cancellation page became overloaded within hours of the news breaking. The demand to cancel Xbox Game Pass was so great that the system could not handle the sudden surge. If there was ever a sign that gamers have reached their breaking point, this was it. Holy moly.
Holy shit.
So it was broken. The cancellation page was broken for a little bit or whatever. There was droves of people are canceling Game Pass. This is how you lose your relations with your customers, with your fans, with your own let's say your fan base, your Xbox fan base. This is how you lose it. This is how you lose everything. I was like, Nintendo was bad, Xbox is bad, Sony is bad, like PlayStation, like what is going on here? All of this is just greed straight up. Something is going on and they're losing it. They're losing the gamer, they're losing the market, they're losing their fans. Something is up here and they're not understanding where they started, how they came here to be because of gamers and fans and supporters. They're just straight up just giving it all away just for greed. It's insane. I've never seen how the big three have lost it so much that you can't look at them the same way anymore. Like, I just can't. I just can't look at them anymore the same way. It's crazy. What the price increase looks like. Here's how the new Xbox Game Pass pricing breaks down. Game Pass Ultimate is $29.99 a month from what it was from $19.99. PC Game Pass is $16.49 a month, was from $11.99. Standard console plan, $14.99 a month, rebranded in premium. Entry-level core plan remains $9.99 a month, but now rebranded as essential. Holy shit, just the names for all of these different types of pricings and stuff, this would confuse, it confuses me as I play games, but it would also confuse normies. Like, straight up, this is so confusing. These names, the branding for them, the premium, the freaking essential, the PC Game Pass, I understand. I understand that one completely. And then you have Ultimate, which I understand. But the other tiers, I'm like, what the hell? What are these? What the heck? Like, these names are crazy, dude. These are crazy names. Microsoft argues that the higher cost reflects new benefits. Ultimate members will gain access to Ubisoft Plus classics, more day one releases, and expanded cloud streaming options. But for many gamers, the perks don't justify the sudden price shock. After all, the core value of Game Pass was accessibility, gaming for everyone, regardless of budget. At nearly $360 per year, Game Pass Ultimate now costs more than a brand new console in just 3 years of subscription fees. Yeah, pretty much. I think you can get like the OG Switch with that almost. I think, but I could be wrong. It probably went up too, but yeah, it is a lot. That's a lot for a year. Reactions online have been overwhelmingly negative. Social media lit up with angry posts, memes, and screenshots of cancellation confirmations. Across Reddit and X, players shared proof that they were dropping the service in protest, with many threads filled with complaints that the price hike felt like corporate greed. 'Cause it is. It is straight up corporate greed. All of the big three are doing this. I was saying this in my last video. I said it's a good price for short term, but for long term, Hell no, it's not good. It's not good at all. These subscription services are destroying and making the gaming industry horrible because of it. They want that digital future, the one where you don't own anything and you just be happy about it kind of thing. That's the utopia that they're trying to build here. If you can't see that, I'm sorry, that's just the facts. That's what's going on. More and more, they're getting away of physical things. Everything's going to be digital, and everything will be monetized, and you can't just enjoy it. You're going to need to actually start paying up every time you launch the game. Imagine that. Paying for something for launching constantly. That is insane. That's the future they want. Gaming forums are packed with debates over alternatives. Some players are considering a shift back to physical game purchases, while others are weighing a move to competent services like PlayStation Plus. The general statement is that at nearly $30 per month, Game Pass have crossed a line where convenience no longer outweighs cost. Or people are just going to sail the 7 seas straight up. People are going to go online and find a different way. Like, that's what's going to happen. When stuff goes up like this, more and more people are going to try to do things that satisfies them another way. This isn't the first time Microsoft has faced backlash for heavy-handed decisions. In 2021, the company attempted to double the price of Xbox Live Gold before reverting course after fan outrage. Today's Game Pass uproar feels early similar, only this time Microsoft seems intent on forcing the change through no matter how loud the backlash becomes. I always said Xbox Live Gold, when it first launched, I hated the thing about paying for another online subscription service for just playing online with friends and stuff online. I always hated that. I always did. PlayStation never did that, and Nintendo never did that. They never had these options. Xbox started that with the original Xbox, which I always questioning, like, why am I, like, I'm paying for already an internet service that has an internet connection to it. Why am I paying for another internet service? People say, oh, because you're paying for the servers for online service. Okay. Maybe that's the case. But I feel like it's a huge scam. And then when they saw Xbox was making money out of it, Sony jumped in with PS4, and they started doing that too. Nintendo started jumping in when they started it with the Switch, the original Switch, later in the cycle. And even then, I thought the PlayStation 1 and the Nintendo 1 were scams too. But now they're giving you more ways to now you're not just paying for online, you're paying for other stuff as well. You're paying for emulators, you're paying for other things that really, are you going to play? Maybe once or twice, but most of the time, not really. To be honest, I don't think I'll be playing all these games that much. It's nice to have them, like, and, you know, if you have them, it's nice. But do I want to pay for these constantly that I don't own? I don't think so. I really don't care for them that much. I'd rather get them another way. You know? But yeah, I always thought it was so dumb, this Xbox Live Gold bullshit. I always thought it was so stupid. I hated the aspect of paying for online because I already was paying for online. I was paying for my internet. Why do I have to pay again? I always thought it was a scam. I always thought it was a scam. People say, oh, it's for the services. Yeah, sure. You know, Xbox, Microsoft, one of the richest companies in the world, has to pay for their servers. Okay. And we have to pay it through our pocket? Sure. Okay. The difference is now is that Xbox is in a far weaker position despite early buzz around Starfield. Yeah, the Starfield bullshit. Yeah, I know. People didn't like it. Xbox hardware sales continues to trail behind PlayStation and Nintendo. And now instead of railing fans with affordable access to games, Microsoft is asking them to pay far more for the same service. The optics couldn't be worse. While Xbox exclusives trout record revenue, gamers are being told to swallow an extra $10 every month. It's a clear case of corporate greed over customer loyalty. Yes, it really is. It really is. What it means for the future. The most pressing question is whether the service will return enough subscribers to justify the aggressive move. Game Pass has long been thought as the Netflix of gaming, but Netflix itself provides a cautionary tale. Price hikes eventually lead to churn, no matter how good the content. It's true. Netflix is not a good place right now as well. People subscribe for that one show or that one movie for a month, and then they cancel. That's what's going to happen with Xbox Game Pass. People are going to try out this thing, demo it out, and then they're going to cancel. That's what I think it's going to be. Now, what they're giving, what they've said with the Ubisoft Plus Classics or whatever, and Fortnite crew members, which is a really good deal. It's like $12 for like 1,000 V-Bucks, a new skin every month, all the battle passes. Like, you just get everything with the crew member, which is actually a pretty good deal. But I could see the other side of it where if you're not a big fan of Fortnite and you're paying for crew membership, what's the point? Why can't you just have a version where it's less? You still have the $20. You get the EA Play. You get the Xbox Pass. But no, you have to pay the Ultimate because you get the Ultimate is going to have the games that come out day one, the 75 more games, the Fortnite thing, and the Ubisoft. So you're going to need all of those. When maybe most of them, you don't even play the Ubisoft things, and you don't even play Fortnite, then what's the point of even having that? You need to upgrade just to play the newer games on Game Pass. So this is what people are saying. Give us tiers. Give us tiers so we can actually pick and choose which ones we want. But they're straight up saying, no, you just have this tier. And if you can decrease your tiers, but you won't get like the day one stuff or whatever, and you won't get this and this and that. It's just the basic. It's like, no, I want the one that you get, but I just don't want the Fortnite thing and I don't want the Ubisoft thing. That's it. It's a mandatory add-on that people don't want. If cancellation continues at this pace, Microsoft risks undermining the very foundation of its gaming strategy. Game Pass was supposed to be the crown jewel of the Xbox ecosystem, a subscription that locked players in for life. Instead, it may now serve as the turning point where gamers walk away. And if this is true, and this is the point where these subscription services start failing because of this Xbox Pass, which they're the kings of, it's going to be a crazy ride for these game companies. It's going to go crazy. Microsoft is going to lose so much money. So much money. I don't even know how they're going to recover. Well, I think they could still recover. They're one of the richest companies in the world. But it is pretty crazy. The company seems to have underestimated just how fragile trust is in the gaming community. Once fans believe they are being exploited, they don't easily forgive. Here's the mass move to cancel Xbox Game Pass. The mass move is here, guys. Canceling Xbox Game. Hashtag cancel Xbox Game Pass has arrived. I've said this in a while. I said it could be a good price for gamers, but for devs, it's not good. Remember I said that? And I said that I wouldn't be surprised if they raise the price this year or the end of this year. And it's October now, and they rose the price. They rose the prices for the Xbox Series S and X. They rose the price twice this year. They've had a bunch of layoffs. They're losing money. And devs are sick and tired of Game Pass. Like, how bad can it be, guys, in that situation? I'm saying they are in a bubble. They don't see what is happening, and they're just going to lose money, just like Disney is, and not actually talk to its own community and understand what is going on. Because if you don't understand what is going on, you lose your fan base. You lose the gamers. I don't think you have a company. Just saying. You lose your company, or you lose the gamers' trust. You lose the fans. I don't know. I don't know how it's going to be like. I don't know how it's going to feel like. Maybe it's better to backtrack for now and see how it goes. Maybe you might redeem yourself, but they know that this would hurt them, and this would actually have some backlash to it. They know it. There's no way they're this dumb that you're not going to have backlash. There's no way. No way. The backlash to Xbox Game Pass pricing is swift, fierce, and in the eyes of many, entirely justified. Microsoft has chosen the wrong time to bleed its customers dry. With an industry already battled by layoffs, disappointing releases, and economic strain, rather than rewarding loyalty, Xbox has punished it. Instead of reinforcing the best deal in gaming, Microsoft had destroyed that reputation in a single announcement. The only clear winner here is the cancellation button, which are being clicked at a record speed. So that's the article here, guys. It's crazy. People are upset about this, and they should be. They should have criticism. They should be voting with their wallets. They should be. And if they have a problem with this, it's too bad. Remember when Xbox Game Pass, when it first released, I remember it was like $1 or $5 a month. Remember that? That was like, holy shit, what kind of... I thought that was a scam even then. I was like, holy shit. I had Xbox Game Pass for like a couple of months. And then I found out that I didn't like Xbox Game Pass because I found out that I don't own the thing. So I just instead played it for the demo. And then I bought the game later on Steam. You know? I found out that, yeah, over time, I think a lot of people feel that way too. They're like, I'd rather just play the game whenever I want to play it. It's not like on a monthly aspect on it. So, and the worst part is it also rotates. Sometimes you can't beat the game and then it rotates out kind of deal. And that also pisses people off. So, you know, and, you know, they always say, oh, you get 75 of these games, you know, maybe you're going to play 10 of them. And maybe, like, more than half of them are just, like, let's just say, like, just shovelware games that you probably just look at and then that's it kind of game. It's like most of them are not actually games that most people would play, you know. One or two or, like, maybe easily 10. But you're not going to play 75 games and beat them. Trust me. It's hard for me to beat just 2 or 3 games a year now or 4, you know. It's like people are busy. People have lives. You know, people just want to enjoy the game that they want to play at that very moment. Sometimes it's just casually, just hopping in a game, maybe in like Fortnite or Call of Duty or Battlefield 6 that's coming out. Kind of deal. That's people usually do. Or they just want to do, spend their money on something else kind of deal. Or you just want to, or if you're like a content creator, like, me or whatever, and you want to play games and show off games, kind of deal, that's another one too. Like, people play those games. But it's really hard to beat games these days, and you're not going to beat 75 games. You're just going to probably pick a couple of them and then play them. Maybe not even beat them. Who knows? But that's the realistic fact of it. Why do you need all these games for this much price now? There's no point. There is no point. No point at all. But there's more to this because let me show you. Let me see here. I want to show you. Here we go. Is this the price? This might be the price. I don't know if this is the price. Let me see. So yeah, this is how they based it on, I guess. Unbelievable games, unbeatable games. Here it is. See, so the essential 50 plus games, premium 200 plus games, and then 400 plus games, ultimate. Playable on PC, console, and cloud. And then you get all this stuff. So yeah, that's that. Let me show you what else we have here. Oh shit. I zoomed in so hard that I lost where I was. Okay. I lost where I was tracking my stuff. Okay. So yeah, here we go. Looking at all these tweets. Nick Tarek, I don't know who this is, but he said Xbox could have easily raised the price of Game Pass by $1 or $2, and I don't think the drama would be that massive. Some people would still be pissed, but it wouldn't be understandable. Yeah, I agree about that. However, they chose to go full greed mode and some additional benefits, which I'm sure most of the users could have cared less about, and raised it up to 50%, which is horrible. If Game Pass was already profitable and sustainable, why do this price increase? Yes, that is the question. That is the question.
Huh?
Why? Why, if Game Pass is so good, so profitable and sustainable, why then the game price? Why did it go up? I've been saying this. Game Pass is not what you think it is. It's not. It's not. And I've been saying that for years. I was saying that for years, But now it's officially shown now to normies and others that something is fishy around here. There's so many red flags going off. It's crazy. It's crazy. Even IGN saying it. Crashed the servers. And then you have Fortnite Crew, which is $11.99 monthly value. 12 will be included in Xbox Game Pass Ultimate. So if you have Fortnite Crew, you get it now with Xbox Ultimate. Xbox Game Pass Ultimate changes now $30 a month. EA Play membership, Ubisoft Plus Classic membership, Fortnite Crew, in-game perks, online console multiplayer, and boosted Microsoft awards. There you go for that. And this was the best thing. GameStop, for all the people, GameStop, one of the worst companies that you can ever go for. Even GameStop on their own X/Twitter said this. Game Pass is $30 pretty much every month. Own nothing. GameStop, buy once, own forever. Math isn't that hard.
Holy shit.
What?
Shit.
What? That's insane, dude. That's insane. And they tweeted out after Wario 64 with the Microsoft thing. Physical media? Yes. That's crazy, dude. GameStop, from all the companies, like one of the most hated. People dislike GameStop. And they're trying to come back again to be remembered and to start doing what gamers want again, trying to get them back again. Like, people moved on from GameStop. But this was a W. GameStop is also, if you get their Xbox cards, they said if you're getting the Game Pass thing, it's still going to be $20 if you get the card. So you don't have to pay $30 with the transfer. If you get their card with GameStop with Xbox Game Pass, it's still $20. So they're even doing that now. That's insane. So they've been trolling Xbox. A lot of companies have been trolling Xbox with this price hike now. Look, even this company, I just noticed recently, and this game looks pretty sick. I played this. This is a fun game. Hypercharge. This is like if you played like a deathmatch Toy Story game, like, if you ever played Soldiers, the little soldier characters, the little figurines, the green guys. I forgot what it's called, Soldier something. I played it on the N64 back in the day. It was super fun. 3DO Soldiers. I forgot what it was called, but it was really fun. So they said, breaking news for roughly the cost of 1 month of Game Pass Ultimate, you can own a tiny action figure shooter with split-screen online co-op, single-player PvP, and no in-game microtransactions. Just saying. Bruh.
Holy shit.
Bruh.
Shit.
Bruh. People are just roasting Xbox right now. Just roasting. This game's out. This is a game. Have you ever seen this game? This game looks sick. It's a fun game. I played the demo for it. It's really good. It's only $20 and you have all of this in this game. It's insane. Oh, they're just looping. Yeah, you can go third person and first person in this game. It's so sick. So sick. I just bought it recently. Can't wait to play. I can own it. The game will be mine, not just a license to play it. That is true. That is true. Wink, wink. Wink, wink. That is true. Your team really knows how to tap into nostalgia better than only other video games companies out there. Yep. This is the way. Bring back gaming for gaming. Gaming for gaming. This is also a good game. Put it on Game Pass. Would love it on Game Pass. No, don't. BRB buying this right now. Sounds like a deal to me. So yeah, people are loving it. It's great, dude. I love this. I love this. GameStop. Now Hypercharge. There's other ones I think out there, but there's a couple of people saying about this, price thing, memeing on it. People are showing their receipts, like they're canceling, all this going on. It's absolutely insane. And I don't want to say I told you so, because I did say this for a couple of years now, that I said Xbox at one point could be good for the gamers, but at one point you'll see there's going to be a breaking point where people are just going to say no to it. And I think it might be now. Because I know there's a survey of, there was like an official like survey of asking gamers like what is a good price. Like you'll just buy it, whatever it is, for that price. It doesn't matter whatever game it is. You'll just buy it because it's that, cheap enough for you to buy it. So I heard anything on below $10, people will just buy it. At 20, people will buy it. Now, when it comes to like 30 or 40, that is a questionable one. People are not urgent enough to actually go and pay for it and buy it with no questions asked. They're actually more hesitant at 30 and 40. Because Silk Song is $20, shadow dropped game. And it did crazy numbers. What do you expect? It's $20. It's a full game for $20. What do you expect? Now, that's different with Expedition 33, Clair Obscur. That feels like a AAA game when it's pretty much an indie game / AA. And people still spent it even though it was on Xbox Game Pass because people want to support the company because they love the game and it's probably going to win Game of the Year. So, seeing this is that if people like something, they will buy it. But when you see this and you see how greedy a company has become and it's just getting L's constantly, you don't know what, how can you support something like this? I don't understand. How would you support something like this? There's no point of supporting this ecosystem. It doesn't work. It's just getting worse and worse in the game industry because of this. But that's here, near, or there. That it's like stuff needs to change. And gamers are the ones that will need to have to change. Remember, you have the choice to change how this works, how the industry works. You have to vote with your wallet. That's how I always say, how can you make a difference? Voting with your wallet. That's all you have to do. You just say, no, I'm done with this. I'll just spend my money on something else. I'll spend it on things where people actually want my money. I'll spend it on something that people actually understand and actually make great things, creative minds, different studios out there, But this is not the way. This is not how you do it. There's such a bubble, an ecosystem that they don't want to listen to actual real life criticism. They don't want to understand it. They don't want to look into it and actually change it so they can do better. But they don't want to do better. They want to lose money. They want to lose money. I don't understand this modern kind of take of how companies actually don't listen to their customers. It's ridiculous. It's just ridiculous. But that's just how it's going to go. And I don't know. This might be the coffin, the end, the nail to the coffin for Xbox. I don't know. This might be then. I told you, Xbox Game Pass is the only thing that's still making Xbox relevant. Game Pass. That was it. Their games are not doing as well. People are not buying Xboxes. It's just it's on everything. So it's going to be like a third party kind of, it's not going to be a system seller. It's going to be like a third party kind of gaming company where it just gives out games on everything. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens with this. We'll see. Maybe there'll be some pushback. I mean, there is some pushback, a lot of pushback. But I feel like Microsoft has to make a statement. Maybe they did, and they're not changing it, which it's their fault. They don't want to change it. That's their fault. You can't do anything about it. They need to understand what is going on. And, yeah, gamers are not going to... They're raising their voices, and they're... That's crazy, dude. It's crazy. It's uniting a lot of people. It's uniting a lot of people. That's for sure. That's for sure. But yeah, I'm losing my voice. That's pretty much it for me today, guys. That was the last topic for today. We went through a lot of things. So yeah, I'm going to leave timestamps for this stream at the end. I'll try to go through them and see what I can do. Maybe I'll make a clip it out, make it a video. Don't know yet. We'll see. Yeah, there's a lot of things going on with this crazy Xbox thing, but also other things in the background. So, yeah, I think that's it for this week, guys. Thank you so much again, guys, for coming by. I appreciate every last one of you that came by, just lurking in the background. You guys are awesome. Again, before you leave, you're gonna need to do one thing for me. And it's free. You don't have to do anything like Xbox. You don't have to pay $30 or anything. Like the stream. Like the stream and sub here if you like what I do. I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you. It's awesome, and I really am thankful for all of you. Thank you. If you're watching this in the past broadcast, you guys are awesome too. I love you. Thank you so much for coming as well. You guys are the real MVPs out here. Thank you. Thank you. And more to come, guys. It's spooky month, so I'm going to try to do some spooky things this coming month. See what I can do. No promises, though, but I'm going to try. I'm going to try. Because when I promise things, sometimes it doesn't happen. So I'm going to say I'm going to see what I can do about this whole thing with October. So, yeah, there is a video I am working on right now. It's almost like a tribute video. I'm going to do that right now for one of these games I'm doing. It's one of my favorite games. And I've been looking at different things for this game, and I haven't talked about it in a while. So there's going to be a video coming up soon on the channel for this game that I really love personally. And I will make a tribute video for it. So you guys could check it out that later down the line. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it for me today, guys. I appreciate, again, all of you. And I'll be seeing you guys next week. I'll let you guys know in the posts once again. Yeah, and I think that's it. We're going to have a send-off here for you guys. And yeah, I'll see you guys another time. Have a good one, all.
Are you not entertained?